You then?
Hello there. Welcome to Tyke Farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling, ding-dong, the bell. It's Sunday morning, 4 a.m. We've got 3 men on site this morning. We're butchering. We've got Win and Rammel, and we've got a young lad from next door in the chicken farm. Roger's disappeared altogether. The young lad next door will be working till all day because we're going to butcher all the chickens down the bottom and all the meat birds, which they're all big enough now to be butchered. So I'm cleaning all them out. We've Jean's sold just about half the pig already, 3 orders, so we should have enough room in the freezers for the chicken. I doubt there'll be much, if anything, of the pig going in the freezer. Hopefully, that's if we get the normal sales off the street. There's one other pig up the mountain being butchered. A small pig, 50-kilo pig. So hopefully we'll do all right with pork sales. We've had a hell of a storm go through. I've had no sleep at all last night, not even a couple hours.
It's a very bad storm.
Yeah. Thunder right above us. I didn't see the lightning. A real big clap above the cabin. Jean's hiding under the sheets or the blanket thing. Hide down, cover, whatever you call it. And horrendous rain. Really did rain for maybe 3 hours non-stop. So everything's pretty soggy this morning. And I'm back on the Lum boys. Where are we? Well, I got tired of smoking the tailor-made cigarettes.
Sorry.
Where am I?
Oops.
Tailor-made cigarettes. 2 packets a day, my chest's just going shutting down on me.
Not tired, but you run out.
Not tired, what?
Not tired, but you run out.
Run out what?
You run out of cigarette in there in the cupboard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but there's more in the shop. Morning, Donald. The Facebook advertising up. Yes, we know we sold definitely 3 pieces of meat via Jean's niece to
her classmate at school.
Classmates at the college or the university she's going to. And the vegetable man came up last week.
Miming.
And he bought how many kilo of meat
10.
did he bought 10 kilo of meat. Now he's been butchering a pig down Compostela, and he had a small pig, a 50-kilo pig. He ran out, and he came up here and bought 10 kilos off us. And he didn't have a contact with us or anything. He got that off Facebook. And so it sold 10 kilos there as well. Now the same fella wanted to buy a pig this week off us. And the price at the minute is 210 pesos a kilo. And I said no. If you'd asked me a fortnight ago, I'd have definitely said yes, because pork sales were poor, and we've an awful lot of pork in that shed to get rid of. But last week pork sales were good. it's looking like the pork sales are going to be good this week. I'd rather sell them myself at 280 pesos a kilo, obviously. So I asked him, I said he could have one, but 230 pesos a kilo, which is a bit more than he wanted to pay. So he's got another elsewhere. But he said to Jean, if I run out, can I come up and buy some more off you? And of course, the answer is yes. But what did you sell it to him last week?
250.
So it'd be 250 a kilo. Morning, Spartan. Picture and sound good. Yeah. My picture's maybe not so good, and I probably don't sound very very good either. But I know what you mean. The only thing with these lumboys is you have to keep lighting them all the time.
You know what my father do before? On his side, he just keep on bringing a big firewood with the light at the end.
Yeah, you all sat around the campfire.
Mm.
And he's smoking, your father's smoking his lumboy. Oh, foreign expat making money in again this week. Good to see you. Hiya. Yes, Donald. The foot bath. I use it religiously to set an example. When I wasn't there, it wasn't being used. When I was there, it was being used. And then I went on to lime, and the lime is working much better. The lime's always in that aisleway, and I put lime on the mat outside the piggery. And you can see the footmarks of the lime as they walk out the piggery. So that lime's a really good disinfectant. So yeah, it's a better system for me, I think. You can put various things in, and there's no guarantee. I think the netting I put all the way around the piggery has helped a lot. Combination of all of them definitely helps. I'm happy with the pigs. There's no problems with the pigs now at all. We've got that settled, but we've got to keep an eye on it all the time. I'm struggling with. Well, I'm not struggling, but I've got concerns with regards to chickens. Another disease I've been reading about, mycoplasma. Trouble is, you start reading, you can read too much, I think. It's getting quite depressing reading about what can go wrong with chickens. But we have got a problem. That's why I'm culling all the birds today, all the meat birds. I don't seem to have a problem or as much as a problem with the other birds. But this week I lost a bird out of one of the runs, and it was all skin and bone, so it stopped eating. And I was reading about coccidiosis or whatever they call it, cocci. But equally reading about this mycoplasma, similar symptoms. We've got something in the flock, and you can't. Both them diseases, you can't cure them, but you can mitigate the symptoms. and I'll just start them on fermented feed again, mixed with pellets to thicken it up. And I fed it the first time yesterday, and yeah, that's going to work. I tried fermenting feed for the chickens before, and it was too sloppy, and it didn't really work, so I gave up on it. But this is working, so after a couple of weeks on fermented feed, that should improve the gut health in them birds. And I've also been reading about garlic, ginger, and honey fermented. A lot of people throw garlic in the runs for the birds. Ginger I wasn't aware of. But the key seems to be fermenting it to release all the chemicals within them two items to benefit the birds. So I'm going to try that as well. And I'm a lot happier, even if it doesn't work. I'm happier because I'm trying to do something, looking for an answer to whatever the problems we've got, whatever they are. I can't say with certainty it's one thing, you know. Yeah, the pigs are really looking good, and the gilts are doing well. We've been keeping a close eye on one of them for a week now, expecting it to farrow. But the one next to it looks like it might farrow first now. That's bagging up really well. But neither of them have got milk on the teats, so and neither of them are pawing the ground trying to nest. So until them two things occur, they're not going to farrow. But certainly this coming week we'll have piglets down there.
So far, I see 3 ads already. Oh.
Sorry?
So far, I see 3 ads already.
Yeah, the piggery, the chickens for meat and eggs, the sari shop, and to sell through the sari shop to maximise the profit direct to the public. And there's offspins from that. The hardware shop, I'll buy 4 trays of eggs a week. We've only been able to supply them 2 or 3 trays. But at the minute now, we've got enough eggs there. This week we'll be firing 4 trays down to them. And it builds over time. Different people wanting, or another sari store, possibly in the future, you know. But the other thing I'm going to do here is hydroponic vegetables, but that's a while away yet. And grow his own vegetables to sell through the shop. Oh, I've always plenty of business ideas, but bear in mind I'm 77. I don't have the ambition of a young fella anymore. Money isn't of a great deal of interest to me anymore. Making money for myself, it's of interest at the minute, making money to finish the house build. But I don't think I'll ever sit on the veranda. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and if there's any opportunity comes up and we want to take it and can manage it, yeah, I'll never say no. Foreigner customers, no. There's very few foreigners around here. There was another foreigner last week down Compostela at a basketball match, and I don't know what was going on with him, but he finished up being wrestled to the ground, threatening everybody, and taken away. So where he came from, I haven't seen a foreigner in Compostela now for a good few months. Whether he was with a Filipino woman, she was trying to calm him down. So whether they were living in Compostela, or if it was an away match, he might have come with the away side. I don't know. But yeah, wasn't very. It didn't look very good. But what was going on, I've no idea. I mean, it's just possible that he might have been the victim. You don't know. But I know you explore all sorts of business ideas. And that's why people watch your channel, to get ideas, I suppose. Oh, with a Wi-Fi box out the front. We'll probably extend when we move in the house. We'll extend the shop down this side of the veranda, and we will at some stage do hot food, chicken and pork, maybe just on a Saturday, or maybe Saturday, Sunday. If there's money in it, we'll do it, providing it's manageable. We've got another woman, a cousin of Jean's, working the shop, who was really good. So Jean has quite a bit of time off now. I mean, she can't do any more than what she's doing. You know, I wouldn't expand the shop anymore if Jean was having to do it all. But with a cousin here, yeah, we probably will expand and do a little bit of food. Yeah, that's about all we have in mind at the minute. I'm more concentrated on getting the hydroponic garden up and running when the house is finished, probably. Because I'm interested in growing. I'm interested in supplying the shop with things to sell. Yeah, William used to sell a lot to foreigners there. I don't think he's driven by selling stuff in that deli very much anymore. He gives most of it away, I think. He eats it himself and gives it away, more than selling it. But I'm sure he still is selling some stuff. Yeah, you know, people wherever they go misbehave. He was maybe full of drink. You know, I have no idea. Like I say, it may be that he was a victim. I have no idea. But it didn't look good on the video posted on Facebook. And of course, automatically, the Filipinos will put the blame on him. But it did look like he was looking for trouble. And he's found it now. Yeah, I'm glad you like the content, Donald. I don't chase views, because quite honestly, the amount of money I earn off YouTube, and if I pushed it a bit harder, the amount of extra money I'd earn off YouTube doesn't justify the time I put into it. I decided to do YouTube. I've never done anything like this before. It took me ages and ages and ages to get monetized. And when I got monetized, I thought, well, that's a waste of bloody time anyway. But Jean appreciates the money at the end of the month, which is enough to buy a load of gravel. So it's something. But I don't look for super chats and all that. I get the occasional one, and it's appreciated, but I don't look for them. Now, I'm always a bit wary of talking about money on the YouTube videos, because I think a lot of people watching YouTube videos, they've become quite accustomed to channels begging in one shape or another. Now, I've stopped work on the house because of no budget. Now, I didn't say that on the YouTube video to gain sympathy and maybe a few quid. It's on the channel because it's reality. It's a reality of life. And it's not the end of the world. It's maybe going to be hard on these work fellas, but I don't think so, because we're selling pork again, and we've got pork to go till Christmas. I can keep these fellas working without buying materials, and they'll be working full time next week, but it's week to week now. What I don't want to do is buy materials for 2 months, preferably 3 months, to let my pensions build up. So then I can come back to the house and say, right, we're working on the house, and we were working on the house for 6 months. More or less till it's completed. I'll maybe have to stop again, because when we get on the inside with tiles and that, it's bound to cost a fair bit of money. I've not priced it out, so I may well have to stop again. And like I said, it's not the end of the world, it's reality of life. You can't, well, people do, they go into debt and whatever have you, but not me.
It sounds like the pig was very strong.
Yeah. They're just getting the pig out the figure, obviously. They're not terribly large pigs. They're very heavy.
It's very heavy.
This pig's going to be 95, maybe pushing 100 kilos. The last week it killed out at 78 kilos.
78, yeah, that's a bit small one.
It's going to be 80 to 85 kilos. I think it might be 85 kilos, this one. Yeah, I lost my thread now. What the... Yeah, so money-wise, that's not why I do YouTube. But if people, especially somebody thinking of coming to the Philippines or any other Asian country, can glean any information off this channel, maybe how to do things, just as importantly, how not to do things. And if I get criticism about what I'll do, I can take criticism. And constructive criticism is a very valuable thing to have. Occasionally, but not very often, I just get bullshit criticism. And I usually quieten them down by replying with common sense, which I can't handle. 140. Dawson MP. Dawson Mike Papa. I'm not sure that we're talking pig buyers now. What did it, it
Yeah,
was
that's
as low as 180 pesos a kilo
dead weight.
dead weight 10 days ago. And the last I heard, 2 or 3 days ago, it was 210 pesos a kilo dead weight. So it's gone up a bit. But I can't see any profit in 140, 160 pesos a kilo, unless you've got a large concern turning over a lot of pigs. Now, will be better profitability in this piggery now we're farrowing his own pigs, which this coming week, hopefully we've got 30 piglets down there. But even at that, I wouldn't like to be selling at 140 pesos a kilo live weight. The piglets are still fetching 5,000 pesos a piglet up here. I'll sell piglets. I'll work out how many we need and sell the piglets if I can. But as a backstop at last resort, and I thought I might have to be doing it this time, they'll have to go to a pig buyer, and basically you're just going to get what you can get. I suppose the other answer is I've plans to build a large walk-in freezer down there. It'll be a while before I get that done. But as a stopgap, I could buy another freezer. That gives you capacity to hang on to your pork and sell it out the freezer. But yeah, I'm doing my best to avoid pig buyers. Donald, living within your budget used to be common. Instant gratification is economically destructive. Yeah, well, you can't. You've got to live within your budget. I mean, I'm old school, I know. The problem today is governments don't live within a budget at all. They just print money, print money, print money. So it's not surprising that Joe Public follows suit. They're not bothered about being in debt, a lot of people. But it's a road to ruin. Eventually, things will catch up. Now, these governments in Europe and America is catching up with them now at a rapid pace. And there's going to be a hell of a lot of struggle in the Western world very shortly. You just can't keep borrowing money. You can't keep printing money. Good Abend. Yeah, I know what that means. I lived in Germany for 6 years. In Hereford mostly.
What does it mean then?
Good evening. A good down-to-earth channel. Well, it's just me, innit? Sometimes I walk around and I think I'm doing the same thing every day, but yeah, I am. But that's what's happening every day. And then I think, well, I could buy a tripod and set it up and go into more detail about, for example, fermented feed and whatever have you, instead of sticking the phone in the top of the barrel with my finger over the bloody lens. But it doesn't have that much interest to me. You know, uh, putting I wouldn't know how to do it. Putting music on the video and uh, all this, that, and the other. I'm too busy doing what I'm doing. Um, Family and friends watch this channel. I put it public, but it was mostly to let them know what I was up to. So I can't see me getting more polished in the video presentation and this sort of thing. It'd just be more of the same. And how many views a video do you get? 600 or so?
Sometimes 200, 300, 400,
We've had
500.
1,000, right?
Yeah, we had.
Yeah, maximum we've had is 1,000.
Not 5,000 we had. We had
5,000?
5,000, yeah.
All right, not in one go that same day.
This rising
Over 6 months.
No, just couple of them kids giggling and laughing.
Oh, that one with the grandkids, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, 5,000. But I don't look at these figures very often. Gene points them out to me occasionally. It doesn't really matter to me if there's 500 people watch a video or 50. Maybe them, 2 out of them 50 get an idea. That's always a good thing. And maybe 10 out of that 50 actually enjoy the video. The other 40 watch half and then go on to another one. And, me myself, I watch video channels. And I watch them for 3 months, 6 months. One or two I've been watching for 2 or 3 or 4 years. But I'll get tired of them. And I'll watch another channel. And then it'll flash up 3 months later. The first channel I've been watching. And I'll watch it again for another 3 months before I get tired of it again. But I like to go back to all these channels and click on and see how far they're going, whatever they are, whatever they're doing. Less foreigners making content in the Philippines now. Yeah, well, it's got a bit more difficult, hasn't it? If you're out on the street. And also, there's less foreigners in the Philippines, I think, now. Less foreigners in Asia now. And it'll probably get less again. Because there's not the money available for a lot of these long stay tourists. Especially if the pound drops against the peso, which would be unimaginable. But maybe not this next 12 months. The Philippines is so expensive. It's more expensive now than when I came, and that's 3 years ago. But I still find it cheap. It depends what you're doing, you see. I still find it cheap because I'm not going in the resorts and the hotels and the bars and whatever have you. Now, pig feed is expensive, and anything imported is expensive. Like a bottle of Heinz vinegar, £5 a bottle. But there again, in UK, a bottle of bloody vinegar is probably £5 as well. I don't know. I mean, you can make your own feed. It's easy enough if you can get the ingredients. I can't get the ingredients here. I can buy wheat. I can buy soybeans. But the trouble is, they're as expensive as the pellets. So if you made your own feed up, it wouldn't be any cheaper. And you can't just feed pigs on bamboo stalks. Sorry, banana stalks. I believe there's maybe up to 5% protein in banana stalks, which surprised me a little bit. I didn't think there'd be any vitamins and water. Um, I've got access to banana stalks, but I'd have to raise that protein level up to 14, 18%, depending on the age of the pigs. So that's an awful lot of soybeans to buy. That's your cheapest protein. It's the most expensive to buy are beans, but they're up to 40% protein in them beans. If you'd had access to fish meal, factory waste, biscuit factories and different things. I mean, there's no food waste in the Philippines. Or if you're at 20 acres and you could grow some corn, then it would be possible. But for me, it's not possible to make up feed. If I bought corn in, maize in, I'd be paying 50 pesos a kilo. Now, you can get it cheaper here if you buy sacks of it, half a load. But apart from the expense, I've heard a lot of horror stories, people buying half a load and it's not turned up because they want the money up front, and they pay the money up front and then there's no bloody corn comes. So this is one of the main reasons for fermenting feed is to stretch the feed. The pigs get more out of the feed fermented, and the grow. I've got 100 kilo pigs in there now. When James comes back, I'll ask her how many days old they are. But they're not on finisher. They're still on grower. They're not old enough to go on finisher, and they're 100 kilo pigs. It can only be the fermented feed. The travel blogger. Just try to watch host agribusiness how to work. Yeah, I've seen that channel, agribusiness. And regarding pigs, there's a South African fella training for farmers. He's very knowledgeable. He's not in South Africa now. He was 30 years in New Zealand managing a piggery. But I mean, how old are them pigs we're butchering now?
3 months.
So they're not 100 days old yet?
They are.
Oh, we've had them 3.
Yeah, we had them 3 months.
So the 4 months old.
Yeah, that's how we count here since when we get them. Not
so when they're due to go on finisher.
Yeah, they need to go on finisher now.
They're due to go on finisher now. Yeah. Well, thank you, James. I won't be changing anything soon. Emojis, do you call them, and jingles, and no, we won't be doing any of that.
He will wear a clown costume.
A clown costume?
Yeah, just to change. A clown costume.
Yeah. Thank you, Spartan. I got a super chat. Yeah, black soldier flies. But you need an awful lot of black soldier flies to feed. How many pigs are going there? 714. Just under 20 at the minute, I think. But by the end of this coming week,
Times two.
we'll have 50. Um, you can buy, you can grow these leaves and that off these trees they put in soup. They're full of protein. Um, you could grow a load of them, but it's a lot of work. There's only so many hours in the day, and I can't work 8 hours a day anymore, and I can't do any heavy work at all. I do well to do you know, 3, 4 hours work in the day, 3, 4, 5 hours work in the day. Um,
Dinaday.
and I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I want to.
Hindi ka nangingiga?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I remember. Well, you remember in the 60s. I remember in the 50s. School dinners. Um, that was the best meal of the week for me. Um, Best meal all week. Jam roly poly and liver and taters and veg. Uh, and all the waste was all the waste was taken away, made into pig swill. But then foot and mouth, there was a big bad foot and mouth outbreak and the banned all that. But there's food waste from the supermarkets in the West. You can use it. You can't use anything with meat in. Um, but yeah, you don't have that option here. There's no food waste here.
Huh?
Yeah, 50 sacks at a time. Azola. Um, Foreigner farming in the Philippines in Bohol for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. He started with the Azola to feed his pigs, and then he went on to duckweed to feed his fish. And he had a bucket with 5 kilo of duckweed in, or 5 kilo of Azola. Azola's, I don't know, 89%, 90% water. And you get 5 kilo of that in the bucket, it maybe seems quite a lot, but it's nothing. You've got to go off dry matter. And you need 5 of his little truckloads of Azola wet to make 5 bags of bloody feed. That's the way I see it. Might be wrong, because I've never grown it, I've never tried it. But you've got to get that dry matter. That's how you weigh feed, not in a bucket out the pond. He couldn't grow in the finish enough to feed fish with the duckweed. Might work for you. Good luck, There's a lot of people tried it. I don't know if anybody's succeeded with it. I haven't seen anything on YouTube people succeeding with it. You need an awful lot of water to grow duckweed, the solar, to get anywhere near feeding, say, 5 pigs. And you'd still have to give them other stuff as well. You can't just feed them on Azola. They need fibre, they need protein, they need vitamins. It's a complete diet. But yeah, pellets are expensive. You don't get. The container house. Um, I don't know. Gene will tell me in a minute.
Smart house.
Smart house. They have a depot in Cebu City. I think they're mostly in Manila, but they service the entire Philippines as far as I know. And yeah, it's all right for what it is. I mean, I had a lease on a house down in Compostela, a concrete house, and it's that bloody hot it was impossible to live in. So I just went and had a look at one of them these, and I said, "Yeah, I'll buy it." Stuck it on this site, and moved straight into it. How much was this container house, Jane?
230. Yeah,
Two-
something like that.
230,000 pesos, which is how much in pounds? When I put it into pounds,
3,000.
3,000 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So it wasn't expensive, but it is what it is. It'll make a nice storeroom
What's that now?
eventually. But yeah, we're quite comfortable in there, and it's got a shower and toilet. Yeah, it's good. The firm will put it up. I'd recommend them. So that was Smart House.
David, the storm earlier on, it blows going here. The clothes are all wet.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully the rice is not wet. Oh, so may tripanin na dito.
They're in Mindanao as well. I think you mean. Oh no, hang on, I've missed one. You've used Camco from CDO. They're in Mindanao. Yeah. They'll all be a similar price, I would imagine. The reason we found Smart House is because in the old place where Gene lived, somebody down there used to work for them and used to put them up, install them. So that's how we finished up that for them. But yeah, it was a good move I made buying that because it got me out. I'd still 6 months of the lease to run, so I lost that money. But at least when we moved in here, we were comfortable. I used to sit on the step behind me with a cup of coffee. There was no veranda, and just see a mud. And then we built the veranda, and the work fellows went a bit daft with it. They wrapped it round the other side, which wasn't what I had in mind. It just finished up that way, and then that was the start of the Sari Sari shop. I wanted to retail meat and eggs and chickens. That's all I wanted to do. But Gene wanted the full Monty, all the knickknacks and bits and pieces. So I said, yeah, well, you can do it if you want. And I didn't think it'd make any money selling sachets of shampoo and bits and pieces. But she proved me wrong in a big way. And I don't mind admitting I was wrong. I thought it'd be a lot of work for very little money. These little snacks and that they're selling for 3 pesos. But they add up, you know. And then the rice, will come and buy 20 kilos of rice, and that's a few bob. Yeah, the shop's doing very well. It went quiet, a little bit quiet, maybe 3 weeks ago, but it's last 2.5 weeks, it's back to where it normally is. It's consistent. That's the reason I decided to shut the site down, building-wise, because the cost of materials and that was taking too much money out of the sari shop. He can afford to pay the wages, all right, and it was taking too much money out of the pig money, out of the pig sales. And we finished up with having to run around for money to restock the shop and run around for money to buy feed in. So that was no good to me. So that's when I decided to shut the building down till we catch his breath again. Yeah, container houses are very popular. They're affordable for local people, and they're much better than a bamboo hut, and probably more durable as well. And if you put 2 or 3 together, you can make a reasonably good house, I would have thought. Yeah, long and expensive builds. I don't think I'd employ contractors. When I came here and bought this plot of land, I knew by that stage that we had all the skills around us here, because Jean's family are in construction. Cousins are in construction. So I employ people. And we had no idea about building. I'm not a builder. And we started off doing the fence, secure the boundary. And that was a learning curve for me. I learned a lot from that. How they worked, the good things, the bad things. And we got down the bottom corner, and it made sense to me in the bottom corner where the cesspit was going for the piggery to do that while we were doing the fence, because 2 sides of the cesspit act as a fence. And that was a lot of work. Very big hole, a lot of concrete, too much concrete, too much steel went into it, like the water tank. But they're setting the ways to do things the same, the way they've seen them done, they do it that way. But it's better over-engineered than under-engineered. But I've learned to work with them and get the best out of them, I think. But I have, throughout my life, worked with people, in charge of people. So I'm not new to management. The land in pounds, Spartan, it was 1,000 pesos a square metre, so it was 1.8 million. So round it up to 2 million. It's £30,000, which is a big investment. I put a deposit on it, £3,000, and I wasn't sure at that time whether I'd been with Jean 5 months, and I went back to Australia, and I thought, well, I can afford to lose that £3,000. And I had a good long think, and came back and bought the land. I was quite comfortable buying the land by that stage. We'd got to know each other, and I was happy to do it. So the land's in Jean's name. I've got a lease on the land, and I pay the rent. And I pay the rent now. I religiously pay the rent every month. I don't know how much I've spent in total here. It's quite a lot. But I'm happy doing. Yeah, I'm living again. I'm living in retirement. I'm not really retired anymore. I'm occupied. I'm doing what I've done all my life. Having ideas, bringing ideas to fruition, and making money. Now, a lot of the money now on this site, which is being spent, Jean's earned it. Jean's contributing with the Sari Sari shop. She's putting money on the table now in her own right, which is good. Good for Jean. Well, thank you, Larry. Yeah, but we're all learning all the time, and it's gratifying. If people get something out of this video, it might just be, I can't really see it, but it might just be entertainment or my personality. But yes, there's people doing similar things, not just in the Philippines, all over the world. And I watch farming channels, two in particular I've watched for a long time. And I get ideas. Aussie farming in the Philippines have got lots of ideas, I think. Yeah, that's I would say that's the thing I get out of doing this channel is other people benefiting from mistakes or ideas I come up with. Not all ideas are good. I've always had plenty of ideas all my life. A lot of them rubbish, but there you go. Well, it's all quiet down the bottom end. It's 5 o'clock, still dark. When it gets daylight and the meat's up here and I know the weight to the pig and everything, I'll do an opening video. And then I'm away back to bed. I've got to go down the city tomorrow with a visa. Not to immigration, but to the firm who sorting out a spouse's visa for me. I've got to fill in forms down there, apparently. I'm still waiting for the marriage certificate from PSO, Philippines Statistical Office. It's still not registered. and we can't proceed until it is registered. It's like a lot of things in the Philippines, it takes forever. Yeah, Larry, and apart from keeping you busy and enjoying your retirement rather than sat in front of the telly, what I came for you and a lot of other fellas come here for is a relationship, which in the West, hard to come by at my age, and I didn't have the money to start again in the West. And if I had come on a relationship in the West, I'd have probably been pushing around in a wheelchair. Yeah, Asia's a good place to retire, especially if you're wanting a relationship with. It's a good place to come if you just want to fly your kite and go around the beer bars, etc., etc. If that's what you want. What's the plan, Spartan? I've not farrowed pigs before, so I will take video if I can. I was thinking I maybe could live stream it, but there again, the live stream would probably last 4 hours. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube, that length of time. And I mean, people don't have to watch in the entirety, but it'd be interesting to watch somebody farrowing pigs for the first time with no idea what they're doing, really. Well, I do have an idea what to do. If I get a piglet born and it's not breeding, I shall do my best to make it breed. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I'll do something. You see, I don't even have a tripod to sit the bloody camera down somewhere. I did have one, but it's buggered and I haven't replaced it. But I'll do something. But we might have three gilts farrowing for the first time altogether, it looks like. They're all mated within 2 days, 3 days. I hope not. But I can always get one of these fellas in to help me. Trouble is, their way of doing things are not my way of doing things at times. Yeah, Edward. I can make a success of the project. It's how you measure the success. Can you make a valuable asset? Well, that's debatable in the Philippines. I could make it a success if I just grew the pork enough for myself and the chickens and the vegetables for myself. That would be a success. But no, my idea of success is more than that. But would it be a valuable asset? it's doubtful because, but maybe you don't know. Let's say by the time I finish it, it's 10 million pesos. Locally, nobody could buy it. The locals who can afford that sort of money, they're on the main street in Compostela with big businesses. I wouldn't be interested in a little small holding like this. The people who are interested in a small holding like this are the people with no money or little money. So whether it become a valuable asset in that sense, I doubt it. It's a valuable asset for Jean after my day. And hopefully it will be successful because I'm not sure it is. It's successful now. The Sari Sari shop is successful now, even without selling his own produce. So Jean can carry on and live here if she so wishes. The land I paid 1,000 pesos a square metre. 3 years later, you'd have to pay 2,000 pesos a square metre for the same land, no?
2,500.
2,500.
That's next to ours.
Yeah. And that's the same the world over. It's the land what has the value, not the buildings on it. Because you put a house on a bit of land, and that house is good for 50 years, in theory. And if it's a timber framed house, you know, they're getting very tired after 50 years. The terraced houses built of stone or brick in the UK, they're still going 100 years, and they're still going another 100 years. But the land has a value. The actual house is a decreasing asset over time. It's a land which is increasing in value over time. Yeah, very rarely do pigs farrow during the day. It's in the genes to farrow over night time when it's quieter, less predators about. Because they're vulnerable. When they're farrowing the down and they're vulnerable, even the big pigs, and certainly the piglets are vulnerable, whether it be foxes or whatever. Then looking after them. That's where the farrowing pens come in. I'm not entirely happy, but I'll be changing them. And I'll have individual pens for the sows, and I'll have a creep corner sectioned off for the piglets as a creep. And I don't know how long before. Maybe a fortnight. But I can get somebody in the night time. I won't be going up during the night for more than a couple of days. I'll get somebody to sleep in the piggery. And no, they won't sleep all night. Because the bloody sows won't let them. They'll make a hell of a noise when they're ready for feeding the piglets. And Jean can't stay with them all night because she's doing the shop. She's up at 5 o'clock every morning, opens the shop at 5 o'clock. No, I paid the bowman 1,500 a serve. And if he doesn't get pregnant, he'll come back a second time free of charge. He will take a piglet for the people with no money, but a piglet's worth 5,000 pesos here. So I paid him three times 1,500. I have another gilt there due for mating. I'll mate her with one of these gilts what farrowing now, and I'll have 2 and 2. How many gilts am I going to have all told? I'm going to have 6 pens. I'm going to keep a bow. So I've got one earmarked now, so that's 4. I need another one earmarked out of either this litter with butchering now or the litter following on. So I'll have 5 sows.
I will look in the shop.
Yeah.
Kumana ka, Day? Magabili na ko ba sa tindahan?
Yeah, maybe I would. But it'd be so much down, so much. A quarter or every 6 months, I would imagine. This sort of arrangement which they have here. I mean, you could sell the sari shop, no problem at all, and charge them rent. Now, how long it'll last, I don't know, because they start up and disappear all the time here in the Philippines. They need money for something. They always need money for something. And they take it out at the sari shop. And before they know where they are, they can't replace the stock or increase the stock. It doesn't work like that here. Jean doesn't take a wage. She takes 1,000 pesos a week for a savings plan, she does. And when that saving plan matures, then she'll go and buy some gold, a bit of gold jewellery. And I'm happy for her to do that. She likes the gold jewellery, and it's worth money. And in 10 years' time, it's worth more money. It's more an investment, even in jewellery, which is 4 times the value of the actual price of gold, probably. But gold is worth having for it. If you can get 10 or 15 or 20 bits of gold jewellery over the time I'm with her, it'll stand her in good stead. It's like money here. You go down the pawn shop and pawn it in, and they get a far better price here than what they would in the Western world. It's treated like cash. They give you bits of paper for it, and then if you want it back, you have to go and pay them the same bits of paper back with a bit more on top. She did have gold jewellery before I met her, but they had problems within the family and they had to leave the house they were in with a bit of compensation and build another house. So to play her part, she sold all the jewellery. collected 4 pieces, but she's got back now. I bought her a couple of bits, but she's mostly bought the bits and pieces herself. Yeah, colostrum's very important, and it degrades quickly. You need them on that nipple straight away, and back on that nipple as many times as possible in 12 hours. It degrades quite rapidly, and if you don't, a calf, for example, the milk, the colostrum from the cows which have given birth, and they'll stick 2 litres straight down the calf's neck as soon as they're born. Because without that colostrum, there's no antibodies for any disease. It's all coming off the mother. And without that, there's very little chance of surviving. If there's any bugs around, and there's always bugs around. Hello, Lee. Good to see you. Yeah, it'll be an exciting week, I suppose. What works against me now is I can't go all night anymore. You know, when I was younger, I'd work all day, finish work on Friday, working for myself. I'm thinking of the time when I was doing fruit machines and jukeboxes, pool tables, all that sort of thing. And I finished work on Friday, and I worked all Saturday night, stifling ceilings in an hairdresser's in a flat next door I'd bought with a shop underneath. I wanted to move the hairdresser from the house I was living in, which was rented out the ground floor, into this new one. I had a couple hours sleep, and then I worked all Saturday night as well, just to get done what I had to do. But I could do it them days. I can't do it now. But I've no problem getting somebody in to open the box, let the people that's out, and then make sure they go back in when they're fed. And 2 hours later, do it again.
You need to prepare for your mind.
It's just getting daylight. Cockerels are crowing. Yes, we will, Lee. The container cabin, well, the toilet will be still used for people in the shop, but the rest of it will be a storeroom. And this part of the veranda I'm sat in now, the shop will creep this way. We'll maybe do hot food, selling chicken and pork, his own stuff, vegetables. It won't be every day, but maybe 2 days a week, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. See what the demand is. Because you don't know until you try. I didn't think there'd be much demand here, where we are, for this Sari shop store. It took me completely by surprise, the amount of people who came here, because there's nobody around us. Up the basketball court at the top there, that's There's lots of houses there. That's why the basketball court's there, and that's where the main population up this mountain is. But there's more up this road than what I ever imagined. I don't know where, because you drive up there, you see some houses, but not many. They're in the trees, I think. But they are coming from farther away all the time to this shop. It's a bit cheaper than most. We work on a percentage profit margin, not as much as we can get. Not everything's cheaper, but a lot of it is a couple of pesos cheaper. But they get good service here. Jean's pleasant with everybody. She understands that she has to be. We're not out of stock of stuff, and we carry a full range of stuff. So we do attract customers. And yeah, it's a complete success as this Saratoga shop. And you've got to maintain it, but I don't see any problem maintaining it unless you do stupid things like a shop not far away that, they made a few quid and they were looking down on people then. It's the strangest thing here. I'm way up there to these local Filipinos, but I'm not. They never convince them I'm not. I'm just the same as them, a working fella. And I treat everybody equally. But, for some reason, can't break the mould. They put me on the pedestal. Obviously, they don't know me. No, they didn't know me when I was younger. I'd be drinking the Calapo the same as them. Well, I wouldn't drink that bloody Calapo. I'd drink the rum and brandy and that, the local rum and brandy, but I wouldn't drink that Chinese wine stuff. Yeah, but if we sell food, we won't be selling what I think they should have. We'll be selling what they want. So it'll be rice and soup, a lot of it. Fried chicken for definite, because we're producing chicken. Roast pork for definite, or minced pork, and we have a dish here with minced pork. Eggs, stuff we're producing, that's the main thing. But the way they want it, not the Western way, the way they want it. And the main thing, and it might be a bit of a problem, is consistency. So whatever you make, the recipe has to be exactly the same all the time. So you've got a consistent product. Whether it's mung bean soup and rice, it doesn't matter what it is. It's got to be exactly the same. If you're putting garlic and chili in something, garlic and onions are putting everything in. It's got the same quantity, so it's exactly the same all the time. That's the secret of catering or fast food stuff. When I had a bakery and cafe, and the ingredients for the bread never varied. exactly the same all the time. And you tweak them a little bit until you get good bread, and then you stick at that and you don't alter it. Once you got it right, you keep it exactly the same all the time. But we might do other things. We've thought about it, but we haven't made any decisions about what we'll do. But yeah, hot food on a weekend. I don't think it'll go 7 days a week, hot food, but you never know. You've got to try it and see what happens.
Bilang yang rawas no.
Ha?
Bilang yang rawas.
Ano man?
Bilang.
Di, ano?
But what I'll be making shortly is a table to go out the front for selling pork and chickens. And it'll have a back on it, so you can hang the meat on the back. Be on wheels, so you can wheel it in and out. And it'll be tiled. The countertop and the back will be all tiled. And it'll have an oscillating fan on the top with strings down. Not cheap plastic thing with a polythene bag on the end, because they don't work particularly well. So you're not swatting all the time. Make a job of it. So that's something I'll probably do before I start on building the house again. Yeah, it does, Edward. It's crossed my mind. You can buy a commercial spit quite cheaply enough, holding just a small one, holding 3 chickens. We had chicken for tea last night, but it was roasted in the air fryer. Jean roasted it for a couple of hours on low heat, then turned it up, and it was a whole chicken, not split into breasts and legs and fried or roasted in the air fryer in parts. It was complete chicken, and it was quite good. And I got it this morning, and there's a bit of breast left, and I ate a bit of breast cold, and it was beautiful this morning, cold. It had lots of flavour, more so than last night when it was hot. Yeah. Yeah, people copy you throughout the world, but in particular the Philippines. That's why when you start something, you set it up, you get it going. You can't sit back. You've got to keep learning, keep improving, keep doing stuff. When we started in the Sari shop here, we were buying mostly in Compostela, but gradually we found other places. We're buying back in Compostela again now, but not the same prices. We're buying a lot cheaper than when we first started, and the majority of the Sari shops here are still buying where we bought when we first started, because they can't afford to buy it the prices we're buying. Gene will go on the market to one particular stall, because all the trucks come up from the city, and them market stalls are getting good prices. And she can spend 20, 30, 40,000 pesos in that shop, on that market stall. But they look after her. and there's quite a few places we go to and spend a fair bit of money. So they can copy what we're doing. Well, we've copied what they're doing. But can they do it as well as what we're doing? Maybe they can. That's why we need to improve all the time, so that then we leapfrog them and do it better than them again. But these small savvy shops here can't compete with us, I don't think. The larger ones can. The larger ones can compete, no problem with us. Not all Filipinos are poor here. There's some wealthy people. There's some big houses. There's some big shops. Sesame oil, no, we don't. Do they use sesame oil here a lot?
No.
No. But regards the piggery, the price of pork is very low at the minute. It's starting to go up again. But it's been very low. 180 pesos a kilo dead weight they were offering, the pig buyer. And I forget who it was, but he was saying 140 pesos a kilo. 140 pesos a kilo live weight down south Cebu. There's no money in it. This freezer gives us a little bit of flexibility. We're getting 280 pesos a kilo today. Jim wanted to go down to 250 and I refused. Week before last. Next week, the week after, hopefully we're back to 300 pesos a kilo, which is where I want to be. The trotters ahead are a little bit cheap and the liver's a little bit cheap. But no, you've got to make a profit. Otherwise, there's no point, for one thing. And the other thing is, if you don't make a profit, you go downhill very quickly. And you lose money. And you certainly don't want to lose money. But maybe 2 weeks ago, I was thinking I would probably have to get a pig buyer in, because I was looking at 10 pigs down there, over 80 kilo live weight, and I didn't. I know the pork sales were slow. The first two weeks to start butchering again, but last week pork sales were much better. This week's, I think the whole pigs are going to go this week. She's sold near enough half of it now on pre-order. So now I'm looking at, I'll have 6 pigs left down there because I'm keeping one of them. So pig will eat 6 weeks, and then have another 8 to follow on from that. Will more or less take us up to near enough Christmas. And then meantime, his own piglets will be coming through, ready to butcher at Christmas.
Hindi maglungan sa daan, JB.
They don't seem to use a lot of salt here, right? But they seem to put sugar in everything. You know, every meal for me is quite a lot of salt goes on it. But I'm in a warm climate, and you sweat a lot. I get up and do anything, I'm sweating. So you need salt. But for Filipinos don't seem to need salt. They put a bit of salt in cooking very often, but they don't put salt on the meals like I put salt on the meals. But yeah, I mean, you get spaghetti here, and I can't eat it. It's like bloody a pudding. It's that sweet, it's unbelievable. But, if I make spaghetti here, Jean will eat it with cheese on, but nobody else will eat it. If there's leftovers, she'll warm it up for the nieces. And she adds sugar and evaporated milk. That's the only way they'll eat it if it's sweet.
Not evaporated, but the condensed milk, the sweet one.
Condensed milk. But the bread here is like cake. It's sweet. The bread we buy in the shop off the local bakers. It's just how they eat it here. You know, they always have them. If I was in Vietnam, then I'd be able to get some nice bread. Nice for me. Jean probably wouldn't like it. I can get one wholemeal bread here, which you toast and put marmalade on it for breakfast. But I can't eat it with anything else because it's still got a slightly sweet taste, but a strange taste. Well, we're coming up to 20 to 6. It's daylight. I'll end the video here, I think.
They not yet told me to weigh it.
Yeah, I'll go down and see what they're doing. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, Jane says thank you, Spartan. Thanks for the comments in particular. Otherwise, they'll be stuck for things to say. Edward. Grits, it's corn. The Americans eat a lot of grits. I've never ate them. I've tasted them since I've been here. Very bland, just like rice, really. You need something on it to give them a taste. They're slightly cheaper than rice, especially at the moment because they banned the imports of rice to support the local farmers. So the price of rice is going up and up. The local rice, no doubt some of it's good, but most of it is, or a lot of it is, very poor quality. Probably the same in Vietnam. The best stuff will go for export, and probably the Philippines is the same. It's a lot cheaper, it's the local rice, but everybody wants the Vietnamese rice. Yeah, thank you, Dawson. We'll have a good week. Corn Harmony. I don't know what Corn Harmony is. I know they're made from corn. I suppose it's like rice. It's whatever you put with it. If you put something nice with it, then it'll be nice. How much is a bag of rice now, Jane? How much is a bag of rice?
Bag of rice, that's 2,200.
2,200 a bag of Vietnamese rice at the moment. That's up from about 1,800. I don't know how many weeks ago. And it'll go higher if there's still I think it's banned for 2 months. There's still a month to go. But I imagine when the ban's finished, there'll be a time lag until the imports start coming in again. And of course, they've gone from 1,800 to 2,200. The price will come down, but it won't come down below 2,000. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. I don't know Spartans. They like what they like. Same as cheddar cheese. I give the work fellas a little bit of cheddar cheese one day, and they ate it. Then I gave them a bit of blue cheese, and they ate that. Said nothing, carried on with the dinner. But I found out later it was bloody awful. But they were too polite to spit it out. Mm. 25 kilo bags. We're on 50 kilo bags. So 25 kilos, 1,000 pesos. Yeah, we're 2,200. Did you say?
You can hang on a bit. I will go weigh it, and then you can tell them how much is it.
All right. So if you're going to go and weigh the pig, and let me know, and I'll tell you, and then. Hominy. I'm still no wiser, really. Hominy, harmonised. I don't know. I presume it's powdered into a flour, and then somehow made into grits, which are. I don't know how it's made. It's something I've never eaten. I've tasted it, and I suppose if Jean wanted grits, same as we'll have prawns. Jean does them the traditional way, yeah. And I'll have that with rice. And I suppose it'd be similar or the same with grits. But she puts chili in for me. I need it a bit spicy to liven the rice up. But mostly I eat potatoes. If you're smoking this lumbar, you can't stop to talk. The meat's coming up now onto the table. Jean goes down there the way each piece and she adds it all up. And then that's what she pays me. She pays me 250 pesos a kilo for the pig pot. So at the minute she's not making a great deal for the sari shop off the port. But when it's 300 pesos a kilo, she makes a bit of profit for the sari shop. But 3 weeks ago, when the pork sales were poor, it wasn't producing enough money for feed. The freezer's full of pork, so the feed was coming out of my wallet every second load of feed, which was the money for the building supplies. So now I've stopped the bill with catching up with everything. The pork sales is paying for the feed again. The shop's paying the wages. I'm buying the odd little bit of this and that, but not much, and that's how I'll continue this next 2 months to 3 months. Yeah, Lee, there's nearly half the pig pre-ordered, so I'm quite confident that pig will all be sold today. Nothing going in the freezer, or very little. And I've told them to butcher all the chickens down the bottom, all the meat birds. So there'll be 20, maybe a few more, to go in the freezer. We'll have room for them. And that's the meat birds cleared out. We'll have 40 odd birds in the freezer, so we've got stock. But I'll rest that shed for a fortnight before I bring anything else in. Give it a good clean, sterilise it, and get on top of this dead loss. We're vastly improved to what we were, but I'm still not happy. One bird is one too many. But I will put birds in before we run out of chicken meat. But this next lot I will be looking to butcher them at 30 days. I think that's a lot of trouble with a lot of the problems with the meat birds is I'm trying to grow them out too big. Yes, John. Say we get 30 piglets out of these 3 gilts on the first litter. We'll be doing well to get 30. But, we might get more, but probably less on the first litter. We'll work out how many we want to keep, and we will be up for sale. Providing we can get the money we want. We're still paying 5,000 peso. I've had to pay 5,000 peso a piglet to get piglets. So I want the 5,000 pesos a piglet. With Christmas coming up, they'll be ready for Christmas. There'll be a demand for pigs. So even if I go to a pig buyer, I should still do reasonably well at Christmas. No, Spartan, we don't have a chicken plucker at the minute, or a boiler. We have a wood fire and they do it their way. There's very little feathers on these meat birds. They're bold. But eventually, when we get set up properly, we'll have a gas boiler, a chicken plucker, and everything else. And maybe by that stage, we'll be butchering 50 a week, if we can grow the business in them.
Kuha din, nas babaw day.
I'll just tell you what we've got weight-wise on that pig. 93.9 kilos, 94 kilos dead weight. That's heavy. For the size of the pig, they're not big pigs. They're weighing very heavy, them pigs. And we were told when we switched to this new feed at the feed store that the reports have had back of people using that brand of feed is that they're weighing heavy pigs. And that's certainly true from what we're getting. That must be 115 kilos. You wouldn't think it, looking at them pigs. 115 kilos live weight. It's surprising. Yeah, the Fiesta, John, is the main one. I forget when it is, but we butchered 4 pigs in one Sunday or one day, the Fiesta day, and it was all sold. We could have butchered more. We'll have more for the next Fiesta, that's for sure. So I'll leave this video there, and we'll probably be butchering next week, so I'll do it all again next week, and I will make a video today following on from this live stream. So thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, and we'll see you all again.